Good morning everyone, hope you can hear me. Sorry, just yawning there. Yeah, morning everyone. I'll say some hellos to a few people. Morning Christian. And we'll see who's slightly restricted because I haven't got I'm having to float between the chats to go back in time. Morning Wiggy, Leo. Welcome Nimble. Welcome to anyone else who's lurking. Hello. Just to say, this really follows up from Sunday, where I was in the greenhouse and the internet wasn't the best. It was a bit patchy, and so we've upgraded it. I started laying Ethernet down to the greenhouse but got bored with that project for the time being, so I've moved one of my mesh Wi-Fi routers down here, and we seem to have a reasonable signal. It's not as good as it is obviously in the house, but it looks like it's good enough to run the stream, and I've upped the bit rate as well, so the actual quality of the picture should improve as well, because when I played it back from Sunday it was a bit fuzzy. I wasn't actually going to what do you call it, stream for a long time, but basically I was coming down here anyway to tidy up and finish off. As the observant people would have seen, since you left it on Sunday, absolutely nothing has happened. So I need to finish that off really, and I thought it's going to be a nice bright day, Thursday. I'd come out, do a couple of hours doing this, tidy it up. Instead we've got a lovely grey miserable day, and it is spotting with rain. So you've just got the inside camera this morning, because I say it's really testing to see whether the picture quality holds up, and as far as I can see it's looking pretty good from my end. So I was just going to tidy up and chat. If people want to stay and watch, feel free. If you don't want to stay and watch and listen to me waffle, we'll be back live definitely on Sunday. But it's really just to see how long the internet holds up and how stable it is over a length of time. And you can all be test subjects if you want to be. You don't get paid for that. I can see everyone can hear the sounds okay. Laying internet cables not fun. Thanks for dropping by, Nimble. So the main streams we do are on Sunday lunchtimes, so this is a bit unusual. I'm trying to catch, especially on Twitch, I'm trying to catch mods out by streaming at odd times. If people need to go off and do other things, that's fine. If people want to stay here, that's fine. We'll just plod on until I've got this sorted out in here. What was I saying? Yeah, laying internet cables ain't a fun job. Well, yeah, I used to do a lot of that in a previous life. Generally that was down trunking or trays, and that's easy compared to running it from the house down around various objects in the garden, burying it and then having to hang it, and then I got a bit bored about 2/3 of the way through, so it will eventually get down here, but I thought, just if I didn't get around to it by the weekend, I thought I'd try this version using the mesh Wi-Fi and see if that would at least hold up the stream, and it looks like it's doing it pretty well at the moment. So we'll just leave it running. No, Leo, you don't get paid in cookies for testing or even modding. We don't have a cookie redeem on this channel for obvious reasons. Might end up not being able to get out of the greenhouse if I ate too many cookies. So all I'm going to do is carry on what I was doing on Sunday. If you want to chip in with questions as we go, feel free. I'll periodically keep checking the chat and so on. Chat to yourselves or between yourselves. I think chat to yourselves doesn't sound right, does it? Chat to other people in the chat. That's probably a better way of doing it. And we'll see where we go. I think I'll say I'm probably going to be up for another, what time is it? 10, probably another hour and a half, hour and a half. Just basically how long it takes me to do all the other baskets. I was going to do some stuff outside, but if it's spitting with rain, I can't be bothered with that. And we'll just plod on, and that's about it. Yeah, chat amongst yourselves, I think is what you were going for. Yeah, that's correct. Thanks for pointing that out. That's what I need, is a mod that doesn't criticise and just helps. And for anyone else who isn't the mod, that's a sort of in-house joke. So I'm just going to find something. So, oh, you are helping. Yes, I know you are, Leo. Yes, like I do. For those who don't know, I mod on Leo's channel. I would say, Leo, you can shout yourself out, but actually mods can't shout out on Twitch. It's a slightly odd thing. But if you want to actually put the full Twitter feed, full web address in, fine. But to be honest, anyone who's on Twitter, if you want to follow Leo, you can just click on a name and go from there. Been a couple of entertaining days of streaming there. Well, entertaining for chat. Whether it's entertaining for Leo is a different matter. And yeah, and judging by the, I'd like to point out for people on Twitch, she's saying I cause havoc in her channel. I would like to point out it's not just me. That would indicate it's being pointed straight at me. I think you'll find there are other people who might be partaking in that anyway. But apart from the chaos and the havoc that chat causes, it's a very cool stream, making lamp work, glass artistry. So, and even if you not into sort of the crafting side, it's a nice, relaxing, entertaining stream to just sit and have on in the background. And the response to that is you and Wiggy egg each other on. Really? Not convinced by that. Right. Let's have a general clear some of this rubbish. I'll put that down somewhere. We should put that there. I think the majority of you were here on Sunday morning. Atom Fighter. Christian's just saying, I'm leaving my body to science anyway. Glad to serve some useful purpose while you're still above ground. Thank you very much, Christian. For those on Twitch and YouTube, I'm actually we're dual streaming on the two, so we've got people on in both chats, which I can see both up at the moment. So Yeah, I think you're all here Sunday, but we've still got the trays from Sunday, which actually have dried out quite a lot since I took them out of the trough, so we need to get those finished and actually watered. So yeah, we'll plod on. I think you know what I'm doing, so. I think I know what I'm doing. I'm just thinking myself. Yeah. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. Just playing that back here. Sooner or later, you'll actually get to, I think by accident, probably get to actually see what I look like. That'll be a nice surprise for you and a shock for me. I will appear one day on the channel. I did say when I got to, I can't remember what I originally said, 4,000 followers, 4,000 subs on YouTube, but don't know. And before anyone criticises, I even remember today. Yeah, it's a trowel. Yeah, I remember my trowel today, which helps. What's exciting, Leo? Is that my appearance? Oh yeah. Well, I could appear today, but I am looking a bit rough today. I need a haircut. I need a shave. So I don't know whether I'm in the best condition to appear today. I should really have a redeem for that, shouldn't I? Actually, that'd be quite a good redeem on Twitch for YouTube views. Twitch has channel points which they can redeem for bonuses. I could have a redeem, couldn't I? Yeah. I don't know how many. I'm trying to think who on Twitch. I don't know how many. Have a pamper day, then set it up. I don't do pamper days. I am a jump in a shower, jump out the shower, have a shave, get on with the day. That's a pamper day for me. I don't know how many points people have got on Twitch yet. I don't think people would have got that many, so I could set it quite high. Leo's got 11k. Yeah, that'd be one of the higher ones. So if Twitch want to put in the chat a respectable points they think I should set the appear on screen for a reward, I might think about that. While you're doing that, over on YouTube, Christians say, you appear to be the real person behind the mod's mask. Seems that we're the only two in YouTube chat at the moment. Yeah, I don't know whether it's the notifications on YouTube, whether it takes more time to go out. Twitch notifications seem to come out a bit quicker. And it varies on where the viewers are. I think certainly on Twitch, I think the viewers are a bit more. Well, it's difficult to say. I think on YouTube, if I looked at the stats, the majority of my viewers are either in Europe, UK, Europe, or the east coast of America and Canada. So basically, this is very early for the US market. And I know for you it's not Christian Europe, but It's only just gone 5 o'clock in the morning somewhere like New York, so it's quite early for that. So I wouldn't expect that many people from the American side to be here. They may come in as we go on. And actually, if you looked at the stats from last weekend, the Twitch viewers were coming and going throughout the stream, but it was fairly stable throughout. For the YouTube viewers, it started off very low and then suddenly shot up. They did about 3/4 of an hour into the stream. So whether that's notifications, people putting their phones on and then getting the notifications, I don't know. It could just be that. So you reckon 25,000 if you don't want to be on screen often? Yeah, I was thinking more like about 1 million actually, but no. Well, I think it's going to be inevitable that we're going to appear on the channel, certainly on the lives, because when we come to the summer and we do actual things in the garden and you're grovelling around in the flower beds, I think sooner or later, I think my head will appear. If nothing else, it'll prove that I've actually got a head. Makes it attainable at least. Make it attainable at least 50k. Yeah, I might do somewhere between 25 and 50. But what a shame I can't set it up for 11 today, Leo. You'll just have to take potluck and see if it just happens accidentally. By the way, if I do appear on screen, put in chat that I've appeared. And for you, Leo, that means no hoaxing, please, that I've appeared. Because that's what a troublesome, havoc-causing mod might do. And for clarity, that's not me. So we're just going to carry on. Oh, ignore that. That was a. Hope that didn't wake everyone up. That sound. That was just me being a bit sort of heavy-handed and forgetting these plastic pots aren't very plasticky anymore. So just reading on YouTube, simply trying to get stream elements to chat as they appear to have in. Yeah, you can get TTS, text to speech. You can do that. Actually, Twitch is easy to set that up, but the way I'm running, I don't run on the actual individual apps. I'm running through OBS, then Restream, and then that sends it onto the platforms. Yeah, you better do some work. Yeah, you better do some work, Leo. At least you've kept your watch streak going. So, no, that's a dead plant. Thanks for dropping in anyway, and at least hassling me for a few minutes. So that's no good, that one. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get much out of this basket. That's possible. Yeah. So anyone who didn't see it Sunday, all I'm doing is these are the old troughs from last summer, troughs and baskets, and I'm just taking the plants out they've sat in here all winter, and I'm just trimming off rubbish to see if anything survived. That one has actually got some green. I'm even going to attempt this again, even though it didn't work very well on Sunday. No, hang on. Problem is the way I've got the camera set up today, I can't actually see what I'm touching. You can just see that. You can actually see at the end there. You can actually see some green in that. And if I turn it that way, it's still slightly green there, but there's actually green inside where I've cut it, so that one's still alive. So we'll just plod on. That's going to go in. Can go in there. I'm just going to pull up. Yeah. So just take that off, see if that's, no, that one's not doing anything. Oh, that one is. So we'll take that one out. Hopefully you can see that one. So again, just you can just yeah, you can just about see that's green there. Well, that's no okay. That's a geranium. So I'm just going to have to switch something for a sec. That's better, at least I can see what I'm doing now. Except you're out of focus now, by the looks of it, because I went in close. Hang on. I'm just going to pick you up so I can actually see what I'm seeing. Hopefully you're back in focus, yeah. Thank you. Needs a blurry camera redeem, yeah. Yeah, as far as I can, yeah, that's back in focus. So I'm going to do, just to prove it's raining. Yeah, so proves by the sound it's raining. Bear in mind the weather forecast today wasn't for the rain not to be here till about mid-afternoon. So at least we're dry in here. Right, sorry about that, you're back on the lapel. Yeah, that looks okay. Yep. And this one I definitely know is alive because I can see some green buds on it. I've come too close, it just goes blurry, but there's some green, little green leaves. That's a fuchsia. I'll need a bigger tray for that. And then one done. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did that, Christian, as well. I'm of that era as well. That one's alive. I can see that straight away. I will just trim some of the rubbish off. The wind's got up as well. There's another fuchsia. With there's very little green there, but there's a little bit of green. Proves that that's still going. Yeah. The good news about this is the internet's still holding up, so and I haven't had to drop the bit rate, so that looks hopeful. Just that's possible. I'm not convinced totally by this one, but we'll give it a chance. It's not costing me anything. Well, in fact, I'll get 2 plants for the price of one there. That's got green on it, we'll have that. As you can tell, I'm taking a very technical response to doing this. Just if it looks alive, we'll give it a chance. I'm trying to take as much of the rubbish off them as possible. Yeah, we'll give it a go. There's another one here that's actually got a couple of green leaves on it as well, so give that a go. It's all free plants. I'll just see if there's anything in the chat. Do I have to take them out and repot them, or could you leave them where they are? In the troughs, I could leave them where they are, but there are some dead plants in there. Plus some of them are getting pretty leggy, and so I always like in the troughs and the baskets to put new compost in each year. New slow release fertiliser. I have in the past tried to regrow it each year, but you never quite get the same results. For anything I save now, they'll probably just fill in gaps in the flower beds and so on. And also because they're bigger, they'll probably flower earlier. Because at the moment a lot of the spring stuff's coming up, and there will be a gap, probably early May through to middle of June, when there's always a bit of a lull, and some of these may be flowering by then. So it does depend, because some of the pots I've got outside I planted up years ago and they're still going. You still give them a bit of food each year, but these pots and the baskets are one-offs really, just for the summer. It's just because we've had such a mild winter that so much has actually survived. Because looking at the thermometer in the greenhouse, the lowest it's got to in here over winter is minus 3.5, which is nothing really. So in any case, if you were to leave some of the dead plants in the trough, and they start to rot off, and their roots rot off, you can get heating in the soil, and then you've got a hot pot. By the way, that's not actually correct, technically. But if you do leave plants in, they will rot off and encourage disease and so on for all your new plants. So need another try and get through these trays quick. I'm very disappointed no one picked up on my hot pot joke. Never mind, it wasn't a very good one. But then again, most of my jokes aren't. Yeah, again, that's still going. apart from that bit that I've just torn off. But yeah, so that can be given a chance. A lot of this probably won't survive, but it's done the winter, so there we go. What you're actually working, were you, Leo? No, I was explaining, if you were to leave your plants, the dead plants in the soil, in your pot or trough, what happens is they rot down, and the roots rot down in the soil, and the soil becomes hot, and then you have a hot pot. And it wasn't any better the second time. The problem is, by the time you get to later in the week, you're starting to run out of jokes, really, because you have to refresh your stock at the weekends. We'll just see if there's any hope for these geraniums. Oh, yep. Well, that bit doesn't look very. Yep, that's got a chance. Sorry about that. That's the response to that hot pot joke. Okay, we've got a little bit of green in the end, so that can have a chance. See if we can find a smaller tray for that. Yeah, that'll do. It's probably a bit big for it, but. See about this geranium, see if this has got any chance. No, it doesn't look very hopeful. That's green stuff that's not going to survive. That's not got anything in it. That's completely. I'll give you an example. When you chop into something that hasn't got any. You can see that's a dead one, so you can see there's absolutely no green in that on the end. So I'll just read what Christian's saying. It makes me think of Lank's hot pot. You're hungry for one now. Yeah, that's exactly what someone over on Twitch has just said as well. Obviously, residing in Yorkshire, I'm not allowed to have a Lancashire hot pot across here. It's not allowed, even though I'm not actually from Yorkshire, as the accent probably tells you I'm not from Yorkshire. Rattling through these. Where did the trowel go? Oh, it's on the floor. Oh, that was lucky. If I'd bent down to get that trowel, you would have seen me. So there you go. You might not have even needed the redeem on Twitch for that. So we'll just bring the trowel across, because if I'm going to appear, I might as well get some channel points back. Nearly fell for it. Yeah, you would have definitely looking on the playback. You would have definitely seen me. To be honest, apart from my head, you've got a pretty good idea what I look like anyway. Morning, Abby. We'll just explain what we're doing. We're doing when we streamed on Sunday. We had internet issues down here, and I had to drop the bit rate, so the picture quality wasn't very good. So we've upgraded the. I don't know if you can. Can't actually see what's on screen at the moment. Oh yeah, you can see it. So we've actually upgraded the internet in the greenhouse. I was trying 2 different ways, but I've done it the easy way. So we've upgraded the internet in the greenhouse, and I was running a test for that. And I was coming down the greenhouse just to finish off what I was doing on Sunday anyway, and then people started appearing in the chat. So that's correct. From what you've seen so far, I'm not as fluffy as you'd expect a bear to be. No, because you have to consider this is the winter attire of a bear. Because it is winter, you wouldn't go out without a coat on. So yeah. So for anyone who's coming in, we're just literally running the test, just checking it doesn't drop out. So when I play it back later, I can just see, look at the stats and so on, see if there's been any drops anywhere. Because we're running back at our normal bit rate that we normally stream at. I can actually stream much higher bit rates, but the 2 platforms have got slightly different requirements. So we found a compromise. Crumbs! This is a tough basket. And believe it or not, I'm trying to dig out a plant that is clearly not going to be alive. So I don't know why I'm doing that. Just throwing the tools around to make sure everyone stays awake. What bit rate am I streaming? Presently I'm streaming at 4,000. But that's the compromise I came up with when I first started dual streaming. I can't remember who's got allows the higher rate. I think both will allow a higher rate, but one's got a limit on it compared to the other. And I have a feeling Twitch has got a slightly lower limit than YouTube. But to be honest, it's so long ago since I set it up, and I set it up at 4,000, and 4,000 worked. Yeah, that's 4,000. Yeah. Well, if you compare that to Sunday, we were running at, I think we ended up somewhere about 2,100, which is quite a big difference. And just, yeah, 3,000. Yeah, it's I think in the past, I think anything I've streamed at 3,000, and that seemed to be okay. Obviously, the higher you can go, the better. But I say we were down to about the 2,000, 2,100 on Sunday, and even then the internet was cutting in and out a bit at times. But it was causing the picture to be quite sort of fuzzy and blurry at times. Forget about the issues of the focus. Yeah, that's the other problem with how good your Wi-Fi is. And generally, if I'm streaming in the house, quite often I'm actually on Ethernet, and then it's basically limitless what you can do. And in actual fact, the Wi-Fi in the house is almost as good as Ethernet. It's not quite as good, but it's almost as good. But I can tell you out here, I've got about a tenth of the actual Wi-Fi speed that I've actually got inside the house. and that's because at the moment we're daisy chaining from the router in the house, and we're daisy chaining via Ethernet to a mesh hub, which is then going to another mesh hub in the conservatory, which is then coming to the mesh hub that you can actually see in the greenhouse. So we're daisy chained, but before I started I did go down the daisy chain, and actually it's about the same quality down the daisy chain. So it is what it is. As long as it's holding up and can do the job down here, that's all we're bothered about really. If you sat down here with just your phone, you can survive and do things on the internet, but obviously if you're streaming sort of quality, you need a bit more, should we say, oomph as a technical term. That's a good joke. We've actually got a joke over on YouTube. It says about me appearing on screen. It says, so long as when I'll say that again. Even you've missed your chance to clip that, Leo. In fact, actually, you could, if you had seen me, you could have clipped it. So long as when you are seen, we don't find you actually bare, B-A-R-E, in the garden. Yeah, I don't think you'll find that ever, to be honest. So, and for those, I honestly don't know, without checking, I don't know how many are actually on the platforms at the moment. I'll just have a quick jump back onto there. It's much easier when oh, there's a reasonable number of people on. Hello to all the lurkers. For anyone who's on Twitch, we've got the clips are available. Anyone who's on YouTube, I think you can do that in a different way, but I did do a clip yesterday for, this probably won't mean a lot for the, oh no, it should mean, because I think anyone who was on Livestream yesterday morning got raided into the walking commuter just before he slipped over, and a lot of the people on YouTube will probably know about the walking commuter and his slip yesterday, and I managed to clip that, and there was in the evening scrolling through all the social media, and I see that Gabe put that up, and he also put up his clip from the second slip he had as well. So it was it's had quite a few views. It was a good thing he didn't get hurt though. Because I think if he had, we might have had to delete the clip. But if he can use the clip and he didn't get hurt, that's might as well make some use out of it. Yep, that's another one that's alive. Morning, Paul. Oh, you've been sat in the lurkers lounge. That's fine. People want to sit and lurk. That's you can see on that. That's a fuchsia. You can actually see the green, some of the green shoots starting to appear. So that's a fuchsia that shouldn't really survive the winter, but it has. So another free plant. I'll just take the top off that, see if that's actually still alive. No. So you can see, I don't know if you can actually see that. Forget the yellowy green bit that's moulding up, but you can see that's a bit of geranium that's actually brown on the inside and starting to rot, so there's no point even digging that one up. So that's about all. Oh, there's a geranium at this end. I don't chop that off to see. That's even worse. So that's about all out of that one. We didn't get much out of that one. I think these troughs are a bit like going fishing. You sit around for ages and then suddenly you get a load of fish come along. So that's that one. Slightly different pot. This is one of the wall hanging. Actually, it's not wall hanging. This one, it actually goes on the fence. As you can see, it's semicircle, and then there's a metal bracket that goes on the fence, and it just drops on and comes off. And there's nothing on there at the moment, so we'll see what's in here to take out. Well, we can see this one is this is a gazania. So again, we'll just try to take as much of the crud off. Yeah. If hello to people who are lurking. Fancy fence foliage. Well, it's not very fancy at this time of year, but if you've got a large expanse of fences, it's a good way of having extra plants. Just by, you don't have to have something as robust as this. You just have baskets and hang them up on a nail, or just a plastic pot that you can screw into a fence. If you're certainly limited in space, I think that's the case. I think that's, again, I've just dug that up and thinking, oh, not really thinking what I'm doing, and I don't think that's going to survive. This is another fuchsia, so we'll just trim that back and see if that's got life. It looks like it does. But what I want to do is trim it back to a reasonable size. Yeah. So again, if you take the bit off, come out a bit. I don't know if you can really see that. There's a slight touch of green in the end there. Shows that it's still alive. But as you can see, it's quite a straggly specimen. So I'm just going to trim some of the excess off. I'll save that one. But I mean, that's disappointing. You've got quite a big plant there, and it's got a rubbishy tiny root ball. So even though it's actually still going, I'm not convinced that's going to do very much, because it's got hardly any root. So put some soil in around that, I think. But let's say we'll give it a go. Say about this. I was going to bother with this geranium, but that's another geranium there. It's basically got no roots, so I won't even bother with that. That's a single gazania. Is it really worth the effort for a single plant? But I'm not convinced it is. But we'll keep it anyway. Oh, I see Twitch has gone into ads, so not that it really matters at the moment, because I'm not saying anything of any great significance. We'll just plow them through the ads. That means, oh yeah, we have, haven't we? And then we've got another plant down here, which I'm going to have to really dig out. Ah, good morning, ambitious. So you got timed out there by by stream elements. I can probably guess what the star word might have been. But yeah, carry on lurking. There's plenty of people lurking at the moment. We're just doing a test stream for the new Wi-Fi down here. What did Bish say? Well, actually, Leo, as a mod, you can actually see if you click on the deleted message. I think it'll say deleted. You can actually look and see what he's done as a mod. But yeah, so it's a useful thing for the mods to do, because then you know if Stream Elements or Nightbot or whatever the bot is being a little bit too aggressive. But yeah, you'll see under that it'll say message deleted, and if you click on message deleted, it'll pull up the message for you. But yes, I can. But I think we can probably. Yeah, the word yeah, the S word, and it was not sorry. Yeah, and it was. It's 4 letters. Yeah. It could have been worse. You could have been banned by Leo. So now she's got the power to do that. Just reading YouTube are talking to each other. I'll say I've got no problem with the language really. As you know, ambitious. I've got no problem because I watch your stream all the time, so I've got no problem with the language. But it's just the way the channel's been set up really here. I have a I don't know what you call it, a more family friendly. I don't think it's even that. It's just what it is really. It's one less thing to worry about. And especially when you run the channel without any mods, you probably need tighter controls on your chatbots. But as my mods are still in training, well, as we say, there's only one here, and they're in training and they're actually working at the same time. So that's pretty impressive. You're going to get your hands wet now, right? There's probably a joke in there as well, but I won't do it because I might get banned by Leo. I was just reading. Ban the streamer, yeah. And yeah, a standard mod wouldn't be able to do that. I don't know whether a lead mod. No, I can't imagine a lead mod can ban a streamer. Over on YouTube, there are much more different levels of mod. So I think a mod that can basically, I think they're called editor mods, something like that over on YouTube. Who basically have all the same powers as the streamer does. So. Promote you and try it, and no thanks. You're still in your probationary period, Leo. Of course, that's something, probationary period, something you forgot to put in my contract. So this is a comparable basket. This is one of the hanging baskets. Oh yeah, Christian over on YouTube's talking about you say innocent things and then you suddenly get auto deleted. Yeah, and you know what? It's triggered. Yeah, well, I'll come back to that in a sec. Oh, and Leah's saying, I know, as soon as you offered, you stuck with me and wasn't going to give you a chance to run away. Okay. Well, I don't run very quick anyway, so you'll be able to catch up if I did run off to another channel. Yeah, going back to Christians on YouTube, yeah, I don't know whether you stream or not, Christian, but the streamers in the chat will know about chatbots and so on. But within the chatbot itself, there are all sorts of settings for doing all sorts of clever and basically useless things in the background. But one of the main jobs for them is to monitor the chat, and you can actually set it up to have different levels of auto modding on the chat. But you can actually put in specific terms or a specific word that will then be banned, and then it gives people time. It could just delete it, or it gives you a small timeout, or there are various different levels of what it thinks is naughtiness. But basically, most of the chats I see deleted are pretty innocent, really. But if you imagine, it's all the usual sort of swear words, bullying words, anything that you can think of that wouldn't be acceptable if you were stood in the middle of the supermarket shouting. But that's all it is, and as you go from channel to channel, every channel, there are lots of different chatbots, but every channel has its own level of chatbot, of the sort of cut-off point in the chatbot and what words they're using. I mean, some of the channels I mod on, they basically allow probably about 90% of what's said. You know, not 90% of what's said, but they allow 90% of free speech without sort of some really harsh things come out. But then there's one channel I work on that's almost got a zero tolerance to anything, and the chatbot's going off all the time. And then, of course, as the mod, some of the chatbots just automatically delete it, and then some of us ask the mod to actually approve it or deny it. So, but it comes down to what the streamer wants their channel to be, really. And some streams are perhaps some more adult. They allow more adult things in the chat. Some don't. But as anyone who sees me floating around the internet knows, I'm on everything from very mild chats to stuff that's got a swear word in every other sentence, basically. So, but going back to this, otherwise I'll never finish before I need to. This is one of the hanging baskets. Same style as the wall basket. I've had these a number of years. The good thing about these is they have these little gates. So when you plant them up, you put your plant through, as you build it up, level by level, you can put your plant through the hole, then put the gate in over the top so you don't damage the root ball which is there. And then you put the gate in and then the soil can build up behind it. So it's a good way of not damaging your plants. So I wouldn't know what level of chatbot modding there is on here. I would say it's at the more family friendly end. So, and to be brutally honest, I don't remember changing a lot of it when I installed it. I think it had already got a lot of stuff set up in it. And like most people would probably start streaming, it's sort of, let's plug everything in and see if we can get online and hope for the best. So we run out of space in that one. That's another one done. See if this geranium's still alive. No. That's not. It's got a fuchsia in the middle. See if that's still going. Yeah, I think it is, just about. Yeah, so that's a fuchsia. Try and see if there's any green. Oh, well, I've damaged the skin slightly on that, because you can actually see on there where I've ripped a little bit of the skin off, or the bark off. You see a little bit of green. That should be okay. The other thing you can see about on this one is that I don't actually grow everything from seed. There are some things I buy in plugs and so on. And you can actually see this one here, and the root ball's got this white thing, which is the outer wrapping of a plug. And that outer wrapping, the roots can grow through it. It's supposed to rot away, but it takes an awful time to rot away. An awfully long time to rot away. So if there's anyone in the who's watching and you want to do a small basket or something, but you don't want to grow it from seed, a good starting place, if you just go on Amazon, just put in plug plants, and you'll find virtually anything under the sun that will literally come through your door. And I have to say the quality of the online plants generally now, certainly in the UK, is very good. And then you just pot them up. Then you can get them at different sizes. But I'll be able to show you some of that anyway in due course, because I will order some plug plants of the stuff that I don't grow from seed. But or it's just easier to do from the plug plant side. Just see what Christian said in response to her. Yeah, I know. I don't. It's a very odd thing, some of these chatbots and what they do. I say sometimes it just gets deleted, sometimes you get a small timeout. And for what the reason is, without actually being the streamer, you don't know what's actually in the settings. I think when I started off, most of my settings were banning people for literally saying hello to other people. I think anyone who was here on the, I don't know, that would probably be just YouTube initially. When we were on doing the first few live streams on YouTube, it was literally banning virtually everyone in chat, which was a bit sort of pointless. So most mine now have got, I think it's something like 5 seconds or 10 seconds, and then 30 seconds, and you might get a 2 minute. I don't think anything's set to actually ban anyone themselves, because obviously that's what you have your mods for, or you do yourself as the streamer. So, and it's not always clear what it is. And actually, quite often what I found is that quite often one word that might mean something in sort of UK English has a completely different meaning in sort of American English, and vice versa. And if people use local phrases, that can cause problems as well. Because that's, I mean, obviously, if you just look on this chat here, we've got people from all over the place watching it, and everyone's got different life experience and language skills and phraseology. So to try to get a chatbot that can cope with everyone's like that is pretty slim. Whether AI would sort of take over eventually and work all that out, I don't know. But for the time being, we do what we can do with the chatbots we've got, and then rely on the intelligence of the streamer, and especially the mods, because obviously the streamer, when you're streaming, it's quite often to keep up with all the chat at all the time. For me, it's not so bad because like today, it's relatively quiet in chat, but even in recent weeks, I've been struggling to keep up with it. And I don't know how people who've got several hundred, if not thousands of people in their chat actually cope with it, let alone doing anything else. I'll go back to what Leo said. When stuff like that happens in the garden, we say, oh dear, the cow came along and ate some. I must have missed the timing of that. But I've never had a cow in the garden. I'm trying to think what we have had in the garden. Tell you something we don't see here very often. In fact, since I've moved to this house, I don't see a fox in the garden at all. Squirrels are pretty rare here. It's very different from the old house. Trying to think what unusual things we've had. We get pheasants in the garden here. You get some birds of prey, some of the smaller versions. There's some you get some big versions flying around. But I don't know what the most exotic animal is. Probably a hedgehog. But not that we see the hedgehog very much. I haven't seen it. Since before. When was the last time I saw it? It was about, must have been early November, something like that. I'm surprised we haven't seen it because it's been so mild, but it's been so wet. There's probably loads of food for it around. But this isn't really getting this done, is it? I'm being distracted. I'm not going to dig down to try to get one plant out there. If that survives in there, when I come to take all the soil out, I'll get it out. That's an old trailing geranium. but that's dead, so that's not going to survive. There's not much in this one. These baskets last year were a bit disappointing. I think it was just the drought we had here. Even though you can water these because it was so dry and hot, they just didn't do very well at all last year. In fact, they were over really by early July. Normally they can get right through to the first frost. Well, yep, that geranium's still got some hope. So we'll take that out. Have we got any space in any of these? No, to do another tray. Put a bit of extra soil in there. Definitely going to have a good sweep up in here. Stuff everywhere. Plus there's stuff in the trainer, in the trainers. Yeah, you can hear talking over on Twitch. You hear foxes, but don't see them. Yeah, they make an awful noise. You got 2 squirrels that live in an oak tree, so you see them a lot. Yeah. Yeah, Paul's talking over on YouTube too. Just realised that he's familiar with the names from Gabe's Walks. Yep, you'll find a lot over here. There's 2 more coming that you'd probably recognise. Morning Victoria, morning Beauty Love Creative. For those who are just joining, pretty unexpected. We started off, I don't know how long we've been running now, but probably about an hour and 20 minutes, something like that. Let me just have a look. An hour and 28 minutes we've been going. The reason for it is if you remember from last Sunday, we had problems with the internet down in the greenhouse. So I've extended the mesh Wi-Fi, that's what that is, from the house. And I've upped the bit rate, so we should, because when I played back the video it was a bit sort of grainy and fuzzy at times, and I know we had problems with the focus on the camera, but it was also probably due to the bit rate coming and going. The internet's still not brilliant down here, so I'm going to have to do something long term, but this is holding up and we're back to a normal rate, so the picture quality is holding up. And all I'm literally doing is just running it to see what happens. And I was going to finish off what I started on Sunday but never got around to finishing on Sunday, and then people started arriving, so we've just stayed live. So yeah, there's a joke over on YouTube about cows in gardens. So it says I had a cow in the garden, only not since our divorce. And it does say just kidding. So so yeah, so we're just going through saving the last of the plants out of these troughs. I've got a couple more to do down. I've got down by the house, but yeah, it's a cutting joke. Would you have allowed that to get through, Leo? I would have allowed it to come through because it's not particularly derogatory to anyone. It's got no swear words in it. So, and actually, for someone supposed to be working, you seem to be in chat quite a lot. We don't want to get you sacked, because if you were sacked, then you'd have to stream every day, all day, and then can you imagine how much chaos there would then be on your streams? So. For Twitch, for YouTube viewers, I'm also on Twitch as well. I'm talking to Leo4 over on Twitch. If anyone on YouTube has got a Twitch account. Leo 4 is one of the channels that I mod for. It makes lamp work, glass artistry stuff. I don't like the word of calling it stuff, because there's probably a much better, but it's some beautiful sort of, she's making some beautiful glass flowers yesterday. So and it's the same for anyone on who's lurking on Twitch. So that's for anyone who, I'll spell that out, especially for, in fact, actually what I'll do, I can even type it. I'll type that out on. I'll type the name out on. I'll type that out on Twitch. Sorry, on YouTube. So that's the name. So if anyone's got a Twitch account, you can drop over there. It's some excellent artist skills, and it's a good fun chat as well. Even though apparently there may be some havoc caused in there, who by I don't know, because obviously I'm a mod there, so I wouldn't cause havoc. Oh, Leo's. Oh, by the way, Leo's actually got a. She's got a very small YouTube account that you always forget about. Is that under the same name, Leo? Yeah. So yeah, so anyone over on YouTube, she's got a YouTube account under Leo 4 as well. I didn't know that. Oh, well, that'll be another subscriber you're going to get, because that's probably part of the terms and conditions of being a mod for you. And there, as Leo can't shout it out herself on Twitch, I'll do it for her. Yeah, I won't. I'll sub afterwards, Leo, on YouTube. I won't do it now in case the whole thing crashes on me. Morning to Sean the gardener. Welcome to the greenhouse. This is the greenhouse. Oh, I'm trying to avoid appearing on camera. I nearly did earlier when I dropped the trowel. For anyone who's new here, I'll do the good stream bit. There we go. If you just happen to have accidentally landed up here, relatively small semi-rural garden, and what we do is most of the stuff we do is over on YouTube. Basically, we're just following the garden and bits and pieces gardening wise throughout the year. Post every day, so there's always something new on YouTube every day. We also post on all the other bits and pieces. We're on Discord, Facebook, Instagram. Where else are we? Threads, Blue Sky. We're basically everywhere, and occasionally in chats and so on you might see a French version of us appear in chat. And basically we just follow the garden throughout the year. Even during the middle of the winter there's always something to show. We live stream generally on a Sunday lunchtime-ish. And we do other streams for special events and for odd evening streams. So some of them are gardening related, some are just looking out the window, what's happening, and some nice music on in the background. So it's a bit of a range. And we live stream here on, for you, we live stream on YouTube and on Twitch. So that's why I'm talking to two sets of people. But if you're new to the channel, just have a good route around. There's probably something on there for you. We try to cater to a lot of different tastes. Yeah, all round year gardening. Yeah, it's more difficult. Yeah, we do all year round gardening. It's more difficult during the winter for obvious reasons. But we've got through this winter, and all the spring stuff started up here now. So we're getting back into the full flow of things. And for the YouTube viewers, we've got another daffodil related video coming out at lunchtime today as well, at 12:30. So, and all any lurkers or anyone new, we'll be doing. On last Sunday, we were emptying out the baskets I saved over winter in the greenhouse from last summer, and we started to empty those out. And I said at the end of the stream I'd finish it off stream. I never got round to it. So, as I was out here doing that today, we've also improved the Wi-Fi out here as well, because it was rubbish on Sunday, and and we had a poor quality stream, but we're holding up okay so far. So we're just literally digging through the old troughs and baskets just to see if we can save anything. Yeah, there's a lot. It's amazing. If you go back to last weekend, a lot of the daffodils were all sort of still in bud. But a couple of days of sunny weather, and they've all come out. It's amazing just that couple of days. And we've got anyone who's seen recently on the on YouTube, we've got some. Well, actually, not. Yeah, I can't remember where I post what on where. But certainly on YouTube, there's some. No, we're not going to save that. There's no point. There's a lot of some of the hyacinths are coming out into flower now, and it's looking to me it's going to be quite early this year, because we've hardly had any frost here. It's just been wet, grey and wet all winter. So there's a lot of stuff that would normally be killed off by the winter that's managed to survive all winter. So that's good, but the disadvantage of having a mild winter, of course, is that the cold weather that would normally try to kill off a lot of your slugs and snails and bugs, they've probably all survived, assuming they haven't drowned in the rain. So what I'm going to do is try to get down to this one. Yeah. And again, these have these detachable windows that you can click out. And then obviously you can see there, when you make these baskets, you put them in at about that level, put your little window into there, and then your saw can come in over the top, and it saves damaging the root ball when you plant your baskets up. I can't remember how I came across these. I think I've been using these for 15 years on and off, and I can't remember how I came across them. I think originally it was on one of these shopping channels on the TV. So Yeah, Sean say the camellias doing well this year without the frost to hit the flowers. Yeah. Thanks for dropping in, Sue. Have a good afternoon, or evening, or day, or because sometimes you don't know where anyone is, as you've put in your comment, day stroke night. Yeah. Yeah, we've got camellia in the garden. I think I've done some filming this week, and we've got a number of camellia buds here. But really, they've been really waiting for some sunny, dry weather to actually open up. But as you can see out the window, today, according to the forecast, it's a lovely dry morning. In fact, if I pull up the, we'll see apparently what the weather says, because I did see rain in the forecast, but not until mid-afternoon. So. What a misleading thing that is. It's got a nice sunny face to start off with, and then it comes down to mentioning light rain in the background. Completely different from yesterday. It was up about 16, 17 degrees here yesterday. It was we had a fantastic couple of days, really. But I don't mind. It's 11 degrees, so it's not too bad. You're down in Cornwall, Sean, are we? A lot of your plants will be well ahead of us here. But then again, you've had an awful lot of rain down there recently, so. But, yeah, I'm expecting well, it's misleading because I was expecting an early spring, early summer here, just because of the lack of frost. But it's very interesting when you go back in the archive of pictures I've got, because I've got pictures going back about 4 years now. I wouldn't like to estimate how many are. There are thousands and thousands of pictures I've got, which is a totally different story about where you store these pictures. But when you go back even last year, actually the timing, even though we had a cold snap just after Christmas last year, the timing of the plants here, if I compare picture to picture, isn't that different, even though it's we haven't had the frost. But quite often the frost is what a lot of these plants use to trigger themselves. So I don't know. Yeah, Sean's saying about the floods down in Cornwall. Yeah. I'm trying to think what's the place down there? Is it in Devon? Is it Slapton where the road was washed away? I don't know anyone in the UK's seen that, because when I was young we used to go down there quite often. So I think, yeah. Well, thanks for subscribing, Sean. Yeah, there's look back through the journey. Yeah, there's plenty of stuff on there. We've posted a short every day for 2.5 years now, so there's a short up every evening. We generally do a premiere of some sort on a Saturday night. We do a couple, and then we do do a couple of short little videos during the week, and then we're doing like a calming, just sit and watch the flowers type video on the Saturday morning, and then our live is usually on a Sunday lunchtime. That's our regular live, but then we do these odd ones here, there and everywhere, as and when something interesting, or perhaps like today's case isn't that interesting, happens. But we've got a nice community both on Twitch and on YouTube in the chats. Very rarely get any problems. Most people come and go, but it's you'll soon recognise a few names if you come in on a regular basis. But yeah, have a good look around. not everything is to everyone's taste, but it's a nice gentle channel. It's pretty inoffensive. You do occasionally get a grizzly bear appear on it, but so I'm not going to take out because that's a single flower, and I'll take that out if we do the basket. So that's about that one done. What I will do, I'll put the little window back in, otherwise I'll lose it. Chuck that outside. Crumbs, realise what a mess I've made on the floor now. I'll sweep that up afterwards. I won't inflict you having to watch someone sweep a floor on stream. It'll be interesting though if someone actually runs a stream with someone just sweeping a floor. Morning, oh hello Orange, I know it's not your morning. Yes, Wiggy having a go at the mods, one of the mods over on Twitch. Oh yeah, these are the little windows. They're very good at getting the stuff in and out. I say these actual baskets here, I think I've had for these particular ones. I've had over for 10 years and just last and last and last. Okay, it's plastic, but if you're not fussed about the plastic, they're quite a good idea. And when you put your plants in and out, they don't damage the little root balls. And they have a little water well at the bottom, which helps. But I put water gel in my baskets anyway to help out. But you can get them anywhere basically. Any good or even bad garden centre or internet seller has probably got them. It looks like you got away with that one, Wiggy. I'll say for the time being. You can go back to work now, Leo, if you want. You can just leave Wiggy and me to discuss jokes if you want, outside of you looking at it. So we'll churn through this one. Take a lot of the. I was going to show my bear-like strength there, but in the end I've chickened out of that. Yep, this is take the fuchsia out the middle. I don't know if we'll be able to show that. Oh, well, you can probably see. You can see green on that one. So that's another fuchsia that survived the winter. More free plants that survived. That's a single plant there, which I'm not fussed about. We'll see if this geranium survived. Yep, that geranium's still going. So I'll just trim some of the stuff off that's not very happy on the top. Yeah. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? I wasn't expecting to find that. No prize, but anyone recognise what that might be? I just found in the basket. I was not expecting that. See if anyone's had a guess in a sec as to what that might have been. There's a couple of things in the side which don't look very appetising, so I think I'll probably do on that one. Well, looks like a runner bean potato. No, believe it or not, it's that is an acorn. And we were just talking about was it a bug cocoon? Well, actually, that's what I thought it was originally. When I dug that up, I thought exactly that. But no, it's an acorn, and I haven't got a clue where that's come from. Because you very rarely see squirrels here. That's come out of a hanging basket. It's actually hanging off of something, so it's not as if it's buried in the ground. So someone's buried that in the hanging basket. And for the life of me, I don't know where the nearest oak tree is. There's not one in the vicinity. So wherever that's come from, it's come from a long way away. Is it sprouting? Yes, it is. Do you think that's worth having a go at? Hang on. I'm holding this sprouting acorn in front of the computer as if you can see that. It would help if I have it in the in front of the camera. Yeah, it is sprouting. A chipmunk. Yeah. I don't know where. The only possible thing is it a bird or something? I don't know. Would birds pick up an acorn? I mean, the most logical thing would be a squirrel, but where the hell's it got it from? Oh, I said a rude word. Probably was I auto-modded? No, that didn't pick that one up. I honestly don't know. I'm trying to think where the nearest oak trees are. There are some down the road, but that's a good. Probably about a quarter of a mile to the nearest oak tree. I mean, the only other possibility was it in the compost from last spring, but to be honest, if it was that, you would have expected that to have grown more than that since last spring. A jay? Nah. Yeah, don't often see jays here though. Would a magpie do it? We have a lot of magpies here. It's Magpie Central here. Surprise acorn, yeah. There you go. Actually, Leo, you need that, don't you? Do you want that as an example for your artistry? Hang on, I'm going to try to hold it here so you can see what a real acorn looks like. In fact, actually, for your case, it'd be that way round, because that would be where the cup would be at the bottom of the acorn. I have to say, Leo, your acorns are a bit more artistic and pretty than that. So yeah, I wasn't expecting that at all. What I'm going to do, like all good content creators do. Oh, apparently, someone's saying over on Twitter, apparently magpies do bury nuts and things. If it is a bird, the most likely candidate would be a magpie. Yep. That's just me taking a picture of the acorn. Because you've got some spare chipmunks, have you, Victoria? Yeah. Well, the question is, should we bury that? Should we not bury it, but should we put it in a pot and see what happens? You want to put in chat yes or no as to whether you think it's worthwhile having a go with that. Obviously, I'm not going to plant an oak tree in my garden because we're not big enough for that, but it'd be interesting. So, crows pick up acorns and fly the other side of the house and bury them in the field. Yeah, there are some crows around here, but you don't often see them actually in the garden. So, if I was betting, it would probably be a magpie. So we've got one yes to plant it in a pot. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Anyone else want me to have a go? Yeah, it's great to see what happens. Yeah, pot it. Yeah, yeah. Right, okay, let's find a pot for it. We don't need a huge pot to begin with, but if we give it a decent pot, and if it does take off, we don't have to do it. And I won't use the rubbishy old compost. We'll use some real stuff, some up-to-date stuff. Bit of ASMR compost bag style. So open that back up. So yeah, one pot. Now I'm assuming this little sprouty bit is its roots. Anyone in chat know? So because the cup bit is at the bottom where the little, you know, like a little acorn cup is. That is at the bottom as I look at it now, and the sprout is at the top. Well, the sprout looks like a root, so I don't know which way it should be in. Anyone know? Because I don't know. And to be honest, you can probably get on Google quicker than I can at the moment to find out which way an acorn should be planted. See if anyone's got any bright ideas in chat. Anyone new to the channel, you probably guessed I'm not an expert on gardening. I'm just someone who enjoys doing it. Sideways, were you saying? They're going sideways, do they? We'll see what the consensus of chat is as to how you plant an acorn. At least then, if anyone's watching, they can't say it's not an educational channel. And then Wiki saying it's not, for his comment sideways, that's not a fact, it's more of a silly suggestion. And then we have our mod over on Twitch saying that native trees, so it doesn't matter which way. Well, do we really want to admit that Wiggy was correct in his first comment that they could be planted sideways? Morning, Dem. Dem, do you know how to plant an acorn? It's part of the mod's duties to know that information. Morning, Joanne as well. In the dirt, yeah, that's almost as helpful as Wiggy was. I don't know, anyone over on YouTube got any suggestions how to plant it? Right, someone who's actually obviously done a Google search on this or something. When an acorn sprouts, both the root and shoot emerge from the pointy end, the end opposite the cap. The primary root or the taproot emerges first from the pointed end and grows downward into the soil to anchor the seedling. It's best to plant the sprouted acorn with its root pointing down, with the acorn on its side. So we have the root slightly pointing down and then the actual acorn on its side. So Wiggy was actually correct, that you planted on its side. So that looks like a taproot to me. In fact, it's actually got what looks like a couple of little roots coming out. For anyone who's just joined us, we found an acorn in one of the hanging baskets when I was emptying it, and we obviously don't know where it's come from, but we're going to plant that. So thanks for that, Christian. Yeah, there's a message for you there, Dem, from Ambitious, if you can't see it. And for anyone who's just joined us, what we're doing is we've upgraded the greenhouse, the Wi-Fi down in the greenhouse. So I was testing that. Plus, I was just tidying up all the stuff I never finished on Sunday. So when people started arriving, so we just carried on. So it wasn't really planned. So we're going to plant that with its little root. I think you can see its little root there. You can just see its little root, little taproot. Try not to make it look too explicit. So we'll plant that in there. In fact, what we'll do is we'll dig a little hole like a squirrel would. We'll plant it on its side with its little taproot slightly below, a bit like that. And we'll cover it up. And I'll give it a water in a moment. Now the question is, now we've planted that and we're going to see what that does, should we give it a name? I know what I want to call that, this acorn and this possible oak tree, but we should really have a name for it so we can refer to it as a name. I have a very good idea what Twitch might want to call it. Because we've done the educational bit now, and now we're onto the silly bit. You see, well done there, Wiggy. I mean, you were straight in there with the answer, and people. Well, I think we're actually gone into ads there on Twitch, so I'll come back to Twitch in a moment. Oh, God. So I want to put that up in there. We'll just wait for Twitch to come back from their pre-booked ad. So I'm being told over on Twitch that boom translates to tree in Dutch. How's me Dutch there then? Boom. There you go. Who said I wasn't fluent in Dutch? At least we haven't found another ladybird. Just wait. I've changed the timings on for the ads on Twitch. They're only once an hour now, but it's the longer ad break. You pronounce it more like boo. Oh, am I allowed to say that on stream? But then again, I pronounce lots of things like if you travel on a bus, I don't say bus, I say buzz. Like the sound a bee makes. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it that way, Dem. I'll stick with boom. Yeah. There's your Dutch word of the day, Leo. Well, I'm hoping that Twitch are back from their ads now. But I think, so we haven't had any suggestions for this. I'm going to, Christian who came up with the information on how to plant it, has just said I can call it what I want. If it makes it, plant it for him in memoriam. Well, I hope you last longer than this is. I hope you last longer than this acorn's probably going to last, Christian. But we'll try to keep it going. And as we've had no suggestion for a name, I think that we should call this. We won't call it after Christian because that seems a bit morbid, really. We don't want to think about that. But I think we should really name it something like Wiggy. So we'll call this Wiggy the acorn or Wiggy the oak tree, if it makes it. So we'll have to see if Wiggy sprouts out of a pot. And there's endless jokes there for Twitch. I think that's roughly all I'm going to do in here. Does anyone want to see some daffodils? I can take you out for a moment in the rain and the wind. I won't be out there long because we get. I don't want to get the camera rained on really, but we'll go. We can go and see a couple of daffodils. You're honoured, Wiggy. Yeah. Have you ever had an acorn named after you? Will it wiggle its way out? Yeah, come on. Let's have some quality jokes, please. Right, the general consensus, you want to see a few daffodils. You know, where it's all a bit, it is pretty murky. I'm going to attempt to take you out now without actually disconnecting you. Can't promise anything. If the screen goes dark, I've disconnected you, but we'll give it a go. Right. Good luck, everyone. Bear in mind, I can't actually see the chat at the moment when I take you outside, so when I come back in, I'll just go back over the chat if you've got any questions. Well, you can actually hear a magpie. Can you see the magpies? Oh yeah, yeah. They're up in the tree. We need to improve this old IRL. If anyone connects, anyone who watched the walking commuter yesterday, how on earth you can carry an umbrella, a camera around your neck, read chat from 4 different platforms, slip over in the snow, get yourself up and then say, is the signal still okay? I don't know. But, right, that's the truth. Let's bring you back down. So we'll go past some of the stuff. So we've done all the baskets up this end. There's a couple more to do down at the down near the house. They're not so urgent. So there's a nice little polyanthus plant, part of the Premier family, which primrose is a part of. Polyanthus being the ones that have got a slightly longer stalk. So I promised you some daffodils. So there you go, some daffodils. Hang on. Let's come back out. So the little ones here are tete-a-tete daffodils, miniature daffodils. Anyone who's been on YouTube would have seen the video that was out yesterday lunchtime about tete-a-tete daffodils, stuff I never knew about the history of them. Very interesting. I was going to film one of these sort of relaxing type videos of daffodils today, but I'm not going to put my good camera out in the rain too long. We clamber into the bushes, so we've got some, hopefully you can see that, we've got some purple crocuses. They were out in flower yesterday. They close up every night and then open up in the morning when the sun shines. That just shows it's not very sunny today. Nearly all the daffodils around the front of the house are out, but that tends to get more sun. Come around here, some more tete-a-tetes. That is a bunch of magpies. There's one, two, there were 4 of them there, causing that racket. So we'll come back over here. Some more of the miniature ones. I think these are tete-a-tetes. I've got several different varieties of miniature ones, but to be honest, after time you forget. And then this is the clematis, and again I can't remember the name. It's got a nice purple flower anyway. It's not fantastic out here. It's pretty dank and horrible, and for anyone who hasn't seen it would go back into the greenhouse, but this is basically the greenhouse. It's not a huge greenhouse, but does the job for me. But as you can see, there's an awful lot of rubbish on the floor that needs tidying up, which either I will do today when we finish, or it'll be you'll see me sweeping up on Sunday. But no, I need to clear that because I want to do the pots and then disinfect it, because all the little seedlings we've been doing are ready to come out here, subject to whether we're going to get any frost. So I'm just going to stand you up. Stand you up there. I'll just put you up so at least you can see out the window a little bit. There you go, that looks a bit better. Just read the chats while I've been outside. You're branching out into gardening, that's good, Woogie. Talking about Gabe falling over in the snow on the walking commuter yesterday, because Dem raided the walking commuter yesterday. I'm talking to, for YouTube viewers, I'm talking to someone over on Twitch, which I'm just going to do something on that. So there you go, anyone on Twitch can go and follow Dem. Dem Shaw Creations is also over on YouTube. She's doing some more stuff, so I'll just type either Dem can put it in there, and YouTube, I'll just type that's the name if you want to see someone who makes sort of wood fine sort of woodworking, making jewellery out of the woodworking and so on. It's another excellent channel. Live streams on Twitch, but got an up and coming channel on over on YouTube if you enjoy crafting. Yeah, I'll just see what's appeared while I was outside looking at flowers. Morning only, May. Curious, what do you use for disinfectant to disinfect the greenhouse? Well, I think the classic old version would be something called Jay's Fluid, but I just tend to look for just a cheap on the internet. Just find a cheap greenhouse disinfectant. Really, you can get all sorts of fancy things like almost like a smoke canister that fills it up, but I'll just slosh it around. Really, just find some sort of liquid you can sort of dilute up and slosh it around. I'm not saying it's going to be spotless, but it'll get rid of a lot of stuff. Admittedly, because this greenhouse went in quite late last year, it went in about end of April, something like that. So it went in a bit late. There wasn't a huge amount of stuff in here anyway. Yeah, so I'm not expecting any major problems, but it's worthwhile doing. If there'd been a really heavy lot of frost over winter, that would kill a lot of the bugs off in here, but I think it's worth doing this year because it's been so mild. Thanks, Leo, for being here. Yeah, better go and earn some real money. For anyone over on YouTube, you're seeing Dema Shaw there. That's what I was talking about, Dema Shaw Creations. If you click on the name, you can you'll find the link probably to the channel. She's got been making some very cool wooden capybaras recently. So anyone who's just dropped in, we were just testing. I was originally today just testing the extended Wi-Fi down to the greenhouse, which seems to have worked quite well. And I was just going to have a general tidy up of the stuff I never got around to finishing at the weekend. We weren't going to really go live for a long time, but in the end we have, because people started to appear. So if people turn up, I'll just carry on talking. We're getting towards lunchtime, and there's no one over on Twitch has offered to hydrate me. I'll have to go and hydrate myself. Oh, crumbs. Damn, you didn't have to do that. For anyone over on Twitch, Dem's just gifted 5 memberships over on the YouTube side. I'm a bit taken aback by that, Dem. Thanks very much for that. That's at least one more modding session then. Yeah, at least it's at least I'm not charging £10 per membership. If anyone wants to be a member on YouTube, it's because we're partnered now. YouTube kept sending me emails about, well, you should set up memberships, and eventually they wear you down. So there is a membership on there. It's only 99p a month, or whatever the equivalent currency you're in. I'm not out, as most of you know from here, I'm not out to make oodles of money out of this, but it's more of a way of showing of some sort of appreciation, really. That's how I see it. I know some channels see it as a money-making exercise, YouTube and all the other social media stuff, but not really for me. I am taken back by that, Dem. I'm lost for words, really. I'm going to have to start thinking about making an introduction video for the members, because that's on the list of things YouTube keep telling me to do. I need to do now. So you'll kill it. Oh, sorry about Tia. That only me. Oh, morning, Chris. If you hadn't noticed, you've just received a gift membership to the channel. A bit like Gabe's channel, a gift membership to my channel doesn't really mean very much at the moment. But you do get some bonus emotes for that. I say, for anyone who doesn't want to become a member or is just against it generally, you'll get. I don't think you'll see very much difference. There will be the occasional stuff for anyone who wants to become a member, but all the core stuff for the channel will still be freely available to anyone. So, but as I say, that's why I've set it at the lowest end, and you can see on other channels, they obviously aren't in it to make lots of money. They've all set theirs to the lowest possible amount of money as well. So not the amount that YouTube suggests when you first do it, but at least it stopped most of the emails about doing memberships. I'm just getting different emails about different parts of monetization now instead. So if nothing else, it fills up the inbox. I'm just going to see what's happening on the Twitch side of things. Anyway, anyone who's over on Twitch, you'll be aware of subs over on Twitch. I don't have any control over what price they charge on that, really. and in reality all you get is you do get ad-free viewing, and you get some bonus emotes over there on Twitch as well. It's obviously more expensive over on Twitch, but it's all personal choice. You do get more tools in chat to play with on Twitch, and you do get the additional thing that's been suggested today of make me appear. Earlier in the stream it was suggested, I did say that sooner or later I'm going to accidentally appear on screen, because I think everyone's seen the extremities of a bear, but no one's actually seen the head part. So we're going to set up a redeem for that over on Twitch, so people can redeem their channel points, and eventually I will appear on a live stream at some point, because I think it's inevitable, it's going to happen anyway, so we might have a bit of fun out of it. That's the wind moving a pot across the ground outside. Let's go back to the channel, go back to there. Sorry, just getting a bit lost there. Just working off one screen. Yeah, it's going to be quite a lot of channel points. Leo is very keen on the idea anyway. So I was going to raid out, but I can't really see anyone of any great significance, and we haven't got a huge number of people on Twitch anyway, so I probably won't raid out today on that. Thanks for everyone who's been here. Thanks to anyone who's, just wait for that, make sure I've got that focused. God, I don't know, I've taken a long time to come up in YouTube. Yeah, hang on. Oh no, it's just right there. Yep. So thanks to Wiggy the Acorn in the pot. We'll do one for two things. We've still got the slate plant name, labels to put out. If we get Sunday where it's dry, we'll start putting those out. Chris, you've now got as you're now a member, and well, even if it's a gifted member, would you like your name on a slate plant label together? I think we've got 17 or 18 to go out in the garden. So if you want to, they're going to label up plants, and then on the back is going to be the name of someone who's been in the chat and requested a plant label. So if you want to be on a plant label, just say so in the chat. I'll promote those more on Sunday when we're back live, because I don't have them in the greenhouse with me at the moment. So anyone who's here on Sunday can shout out. All right, well, okay, Chris, I'll put you when I go back in. I'll put you on a plant label. And then what it means is that in all the photos and videos that take around the garden, you may see plant labels in the future, and you may see your name appear. I think we started off with 40 plant labels. I know one was broken, so we're going to have 39 names initially in the garden. And I say we're up to 17 or 18, I think. So, but we'll do that on when, just because you've got your little bear by your name, we'll do that for you today, Chris. And say we'll do it more for anyone else on the weekend. Thanks for everyone who's been here. I'll thank everyone over on YouTube first. Thanks, Christian. Thanks for the acorn information. Thanks Beauty Love Creative, Victoria, Abby, Chris. Dem came over there for a short while. Sean, who was new to the channel, Paul, Only Me and Sue. Thanks to anyone who's also been lurking on YouTube. And over on Twitch. Thanks to Joanne, to Wiggy, to Orange has been here. Oh, did one of them, oh, I hadn't noticed that. Oh yeah, there was a one of the bots trying to sell me new viewers. I assume the Seri bot probably got rid of that, but if not, one of the mods did. Thank you, whoever did that. Who did we do? Wiggy, Orange was here. Just going back through the chat on there. Ambitious was here. Some of the people at the beginning. Just going back, there's Orange. Atom Fighter was here, I know they were here earlier. Yeah, thank you to anyone. Oh, Nimble Norfolk was here at the beginning as well. I'll go back up. Oh, was it a mod? Oh, okay, it was Seri that cleared that. Oh, well, there you go. One less thing for you to do. Thanks to Leo and Dem over on the Twitch side for modding for me today. The training's coming along quite nicely. I'm just going to check on one more time on Twitch to see if there is anyone there. But if there isn't, no. I'm probably just going to call it a day. Just check the YouTube before I close that out. Oh, hello, Ollie. You don't need to see me. Yeah, well, we weren't supposed to be on today, really, Ollie, but we're testing the Wi-Fi that I've extended down to the greenhouse, and I was going a general tidy up, and then as I was testing it, a few people turned up, so we just carried on. But you haven't really missed. You just basically missed what we were doing on Sunday, clearing out the old baskets and troughs. So, but we'll be back on Sunday. I think I've got most people there. Anyone I've missed, I'd apologise for. I say thanks for being here. Thanks for anyone who's subscribed on Twitch or membered on YouTube. Thanks to Dem for the gift memberships on YouTube. Very unexpected. Not really called for, but appreciated. And I think that's about it for today. Unless anyone wants to play what I'm having for lunch today. Does anyone want to play that before we go? Because we do that on a Sunday. And once I've tidied up in here, I'm going to go and have my lunch, and then I will go back and do some editing. For YouTube viewers, while we play Guess the Lunch, in 7 minutes time will be the Thursday lunchtime video. That'll come out. So you'll see that. The Saturday premiere is the review of February. It's not particularly long for obvious reasons because it's February on Saturday night. But today's video, lunchtime video on YouTube, is basically why are daffodils yellow. So you can see you can have a perusal of that if you want. And if you haven't seen me reading poetry, that was Tuesday's lunchtime video. So I have a few guesses for lunch. Someone's going for soup, no. Crackers, no. Pasta, no. Lentils, who eats lentils? Dear me. Pea and ham soup. Dem, you should know by now what I'll be having today, and it will be, you'll get it right. Because I've been putting it off for a couple of days. Toad in the hole, no. Yeah, Dem's got it right on Twitch. First to get it right. She's gone for fish and chips. Well, in fact, actually, she's gone for fish and chips. But I hope there isn't a ship on my plate with my fish. If so, that's going to be a bit concerning as to how a trawler's ended up on my plate. But yeah, it's going to be fish and chips. I've put it off. I've had some nice haddock since Tuesday, and better to eat your fish when it's nice and fresh. So that's what we're having today. So it'll be fish and chips once I've tidied up and so on. So YouTube, 5 minutes, you can go and enjoy another video. Yeah, well, you stick with your lentils. Thank you for everyone for being here. And so I won't raid out for Twitch because I can't see anyone ambitious and doesn't appear to be on just yet. So I'll see everyone on in all the usual places. But if not, I'll see everyone live on Sunday. Thanks for being here.